Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you happen to be on this big, beautiful planet we call home on Earth. Terra, third rock from the sun, or a gloriously big blue marble I personally call Earth Azkaban. Hi, y'all. It's Missy K. Clark of the Storyteller Gone Rogue podcast, and I'm glad to be with you. Thanks so much for being here. I really did miss you guys, and I love you all very, very much. And we're going to get on with our show in 3, 2, 1. The information you're about to hear on this podcast in no way, shape, matter, or form reflects on the Hodgetwins, Hodgetwins Corporation, LLC, or anything affiliated with the Hodgetwins. It's just one little big black woman's with a sweet white face, being that I'm an albino, her opinion, thoughts, ruminations, contemplations, reflections, lamentations, or whichever Asians you want to throw this into the sentence. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, this is one woman's view of a comedy review that I attended last evening, and in no way, shape, matter, or form reflects on the gentleman in which I am speaking of. So, with that said, thank you for listening. Go at your own discretion. Definitely attendantship in their comedy tour. You can find it on officialhodgetwinstour.com. And yeah, viewer and attendantship is advised. Kids, do not go. It is not for anybody under 18. It is not for anybody under 15. It is certainly not anybody for under age 12. So if you're a conservative or conservative in mind, or if you're open-minded, willing to hear from the other side of things from another perspective, go ahead and go. But this assessment of this review is in no way, shape, matter, or form I am being compensated, reimbursed, or financially sponsored in any way, shape, matter, or form. Thank you again for listening to this podcast. I appreciate your attendance, and let's get on with the show. Let's go, and let's go rogue. Okay, so my family and I went to the Hodgetwins event yesterday, September 4th. It happened to be my son's birthday. Happy birthday, little boy. He's now officially 25 and bigger than big. You know, could be Shaquille O'Neal's little brother. But we went, my husband and I, and we got off to a pretty rocky start. We left our beautiful 12-year-old cattle dog with a neighbor, and then took the literally 9-hour drive round trip, 4.5 one way, 4.5 the other, to Pittsburgh from Lancaster. Oh, sweet Jesus. Okay, the drive was cool. Our vehicle, which we've nicknamed Bazooka Joe, is in which I am speaking from within. You can probably hear it on the voice. Hello, Bazooka Joe. Beautiful, beautiful 2002 Buick Rendezvous. Listen. First off, Pittsburgh ain't nothing to look at. Let's just call it out right here. Okay. Pittsburgh, first time I've been in Pittsburgh, and if I got my way, that's the last time and only time the next time I'm gonna see that place, I'm gonna be driving through it. That's it. Oh, sweet Jesus, that town. There is nothing to do over there, and it's a damn shame what they let that town go into. Damn shame what Pittsburgh turned into. You can, and the part where we went to, which was the Pittsburgh Improv on 5th Street there. It's like a pocket of little stores here and there, and it's all corporatized, and it's all. Where's the mom and pops? You can't find not a one. Okay? Not a one. And that's done by motherfucking design, but another topic for another time. But the scenery in and of itself, no. It's just a cluster of things that are going to, be making money in between barren, in between a cluster of what's making money, in between stretches of barren. It's disgusting. It really, really is. I mean, and if you've been through Pittsburgh, and I've heard from other people what Pittsburgh is like, I didn't believe it. Believe it. It is a fucking dump. I'm sorry. It made zero impression on me. Zero. No industry. No business, no thriving, nothing but drinking and strip joints. No lie. Drinking, strip joints, gambling, bowling. Well, what the hell else are you going to do for an income? Okay, but all right, I'm getting off on a tangent. So, we go to the Pittsburgh Improv. City, yeah, nothing to sneeze at, nothing to write home about. You are not missing anything. You want to see Pittsburgh? Just drive right on through. You've seen Pittsburgh, okay? Secondly, Improv itself, okay, beautiful venue. Looks like, something you would find out of Pittsburgh. I mean, it looks nice. They have desserts, snacks, and plenty of drinks. Kind of like a bar that had been revived by John Taffer, kind of. If you're familiar with John Taffer, a bar rescue, and I don't mean to name drop, I'm just, putting it as a reference. It's very nice, very clean, very professionally put up. And before our Hodgetwins came out, they were showing the highlights coming up if you want to visit Pittsburgh Improv. I think the website is pittsburghimprov.com, and you do have will call, and you got to bring your ID if you order online. So bring your ID. Do not forget your ID, people. Do not forget it. The Hodgetwins had their wares out there, and the website again, officialhodgetwins.com or hodgetwinstour.com. And they had the t-shirts, the white reparations card, white privilege card to pay me my reparations card, and another a black privilege card or whatever, the black Trump card or whatever the fuck it was. But I didn't get any because, of course, I was strapped. But I'll order it for another place another time. And every time you place an order, you can win, $50,000 in cash for gas, $10,000 in straight up cash, or a brand new vehicle. And usually it was a 4x4. Usually it was a Jeep, Ram GMC. One was a Jeep 4x4. One was another, but it's usually a 4x4 or a quad cab, that kind of thing. But it's not an SUV. It's a truck, and it's usually a beautiful V8 engine. Okay. Yeah, it's a killer on gas, but it'll haul, it'll haul half the state of Iowa if you know where to hitch it to. Okay? So in and of that, that's great. They've got those little wristbands, official Hodgetwins tour. I mean, they got, advertising all over this shit. And a gentleman opened up for them named Chris Clark. No relation. Clark spelled with an E, like my surname is. Again, no relation. Very good job. Fantastic, fabulous job. Funny as shit. Especially when his mother was like, being, the church lady meets Cardi B, and it's like, oh Lord, okay, and the church lady meets Megan Thee Stallion, and it's like, okay, it's like, Jesus is whap, and Jesus got my whap, and Jesus whap. I'm like, oh Lord, no, God, please tell me that you did not let your mother hear that whap song, please, God, no. Get your dirty minds out the cover, at the gutter, he says. I'm talking about worship and praise, not what she's singing about, and we were laughing. So yeah, worship and praise, not what that WAP song is about. You know what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, and you know what I'm talking about. I am not going to play that here. I've heard that song one time. Yeah, I'm good. It is the most vile, foul, okay, and yeah, it is foul. It's vile. It's putrid. It is not music. It's music for Satanists. It's music for anybody who loves to worship the devil and sticking, pins and voodoo dolls and all that other, happy crappy. So look, no, I just don't do it. And then get the name, Megan Thee Stallion. How many women do you know that call themselves Stallion? So unless she's a chick with a dick, and there's no way to prove that one way or the other. But then again, dropping a name like Megan Thee Stallion, come on now. I'm sorry. Nope. She's doing that disgusting mess with Cardi B on a couple of years Oscars ago. Or Grammys ago. Yeah, no thanks. No, I saw it in passing. Yeah, I'm good. I am so good. But he did a fantastic job. Fabulous bang up job. Didn't have enough airtime in my opinion. He was up there maybe 15, 20, and one of the ones where he mentioned, and again, his one man's opinion, one man's viewpoint, one man's perspective, let him have it. He quit smoking weed, which I have not, but he quit smoking because, Kevin and Keith Hodgetwins said this, didn't care for it, don't like the smell, and he said, yo, I thought I told you. And he's like, I'm a grown-ass man, nigga. What the hell are you talking about? I can smoke whatever the fuck I want. And one of the other twins came, what did you say to my brother, nigga? Okay, well, he could have taken on one of them, but two of them, and they're buff as shit. Yeah, no. So he quit it and mentioned that, unfortunately, the feds, in their infinite wisdom, trying to supposedly protect us, unquote, have inserted a lot of chemicals in that, and I don't doubt it. And I don't doubt that they have. And one of them is where they're having stray animals not wanting to have sex with the opposite sex. That's in one of these. I forget what he had mentioned what the chemical was, but you can do your own research. And I'm sorry, but I've been bisexual since I'm 5 years old. And smoking my shit isn't going to make me in any way, shape, matter, or form not looking for me to go after no tail, okay? Female or male, it don't matter. But that's just one dude's opinion. You see what I mean? So I left it alone. If that's their prerogative, that's his prerogative. If that's his way to go, and look, their house, their rules. You know how that, y'all know how that goes. So he opened and did quite well. Did very well, got my laughs in, and then he introduced them. He's like, put your head, make some noise. I'm like, okay. And I said going in, if they do all of this shit, let's make some noise for the Hodgetwins. I'm like, oh God, oh please God, please don't do this to me. They did. And ladies and gentlemen, you got to know something a little bit about a conservative versus far leftist audiences, which I've been in, okay? And you really haven't seen me, so so you're not really putting a face with a voice. But at the same time, I've been in both camps. I've been in both audiences and being an albino, and not to keep bringing it up all the time, but it is relevant. Being an albino, I can fit in almost anywhere. It's kind of like vanilla ice cream. It kind of works with anything, almost anything. But in this case, eventually I'm going to get all three of those Hodgetwins cards because, I'm an albino. I got to cover all bases, right? I'm a black woman with an albino face. So I got to cover my bases. Anyway, I'm out there to the carny and telling the other dude, I'm like, look, by the way, I'm an albino, can you tell? And he's like, oh yeah, I didn't get the joke for a minute. I'm like, well, it wasn't really a joke, but I can see what you're getting at. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. Try and tell the leftists how to, get themselves out of that mental gymnastics knot when they see a black woman with an albino condition. Like a snowy owl, that's an albino, and a raven, blackbird, and crow, also albino. Yeah. Anyway, so the Hodgetwins get on stage, and the first thing they start doing is dropping the N-word like it's rain. And I'm like, oh my God. Okay. I'm not one, you can't judge me on my using the word nigga or nigger. Okay. Because I've always said, don't let certain words be unused because the hearer might be offended by it. I don't go by that shit. Okay. However, okay, just because you can use a word don't mean you got to use it like you're fucking painting a wall. And these guys were using that word like they were painting walls. I swear to you, I'm like, okay, yes, YouTube censored them. Yes, other platforms censored them. They had to put in the Jerry Springer beep. But they were dropping that N-word, y'all, like, oh my God. It was like the little kid discovered the word fuck for the very first time. And you know the type, okay? Or somebody who discovered sex for the very first time. Yeah, it's like, okay, you discovered sex. You didn't discover fire. But these two, and much to my son's delight, and he's 25, and you know how boys are, he loved it. Meanwhile, my son was like, oh, okay, you saying the word nigga? You saying the word nigger? Okay, I'm good with this. My son, yeah. Imagine a can line, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I had a problem with them dropping that N-bomb, but I told my son, yeah. My son, on the other hand, nigga, coon. Yeah, nigga. Yeah, seriously, they were dropping that, and I used that illustration of my son. Like, what came out? A whole bunch of pretty can girls under a great big old nigger banner. doing the nigga, nigger, 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 nigger. No, but seriously, they were dropping that N-bomb like I can't. I'm like, okay, y'all, I get it. I really do. But, and listen, okay, I came up in the time, in the 60s, 70s, when didn't nobody ever think twice about using that word. Now, because it's so, I guess, urbane or gauche or, pariah, that they're gonna use it because it was such. To me, the Hodgetwins have a trove, and they've got over a decade on YouTube, you follow them, where they've got tons of material to pull from. They didn't need to drop the N-bomb as often as they did. I'm saying it strictly from a writer's point of view, strictly from an author's point of view, that in writing school that they teach you, aka there is no official writing school, I'm just throwing that out there, but in writing school they generally tell you don't overuse a tool that is working well. Less is more. Well, evidently Kevin and Keith did not get the memo that less is more, because for the first half of that show, they were throwing around the N-bomb. They must have said about 50 times they said it once. They must have said about 50, 75 times they said it once. And again, I don't personally have a problem with that word, but this is where I also got a problem with the conservative audiences, okay? And in my mind, conservative audiences are in two camps. One, they're tight-assed, like you can't know. I mean, they're tight with their money, they tight with their speech, they're tight with their dress. That, oh, well, as long as they're on the same political, then check off all the boxes of, yes, they're conservative and they believe in guns and they believe in First Amendment and they believe in the Constitution and blah, 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 and family values and heterosexual marriage and checking off all the boxes, you see what I'm saying? Then they're good, okay? Then in their mind, the Hodgetwins are welcome. Then, oh, I'm not a racist and basically they're trying to prove to the left what everything the left seems to demonize them with, and they are. And I will pause right here because my kid is coming to say hello to the moi. Be right back. Okay, and we're back. Nigga, nigga, kun, 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 kun. Nigga, nigga, kun, spick and jigaboo. Stop. I know, I should stop. But anyway, no. I was just telling my son, who was coming to look for his headphones. Seriously, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that they used that, and it's not, I'm not teasing them, but in jokes is always an element of truth. And one of the truths I came away with is that they had a decade plus worth of material they could have pulled from, that dropping the N-bomb like that was getting to the point of gimmicky. And to me, they also rehashed a lot of old material that I'd already seen on YouTube. And that, to me, they were resting on their laurels because they had the next one to get to, and they didn't really have time to freshen up the act. And to me, their act needs to freshen up. It absolutely needs a little bit of refining and tuning, and somebody who would know, who knows their shit, but who's not corporate. You know what I mean? And I'm hardly corporate. But coming from somebody like me, who, honestly, they wouldn't, maybe they'll listen to this, maybe they won't. I mean, I do have a funny story that I never got a chance to share with them and say, did you ever encounter a liberal? Yes, I have, Lord Almighty. Oh my God, did I ever. And being that I'm part of the whole woo-woo universe and, the cosmos and consciousness and Christ consciousness and ascending to 5D and, and higher and that kind of thing. When you're in Mundania, aka Earth Azkaban, as I'd like to call this place, or Mundania is what Piers Anthony called the place that's not Xanth, and you got to do as mundanes do, then you got to do as mundanes do. And when you're Earth School is no joke. Earth School is not easy to get through, but ladies and gentlemen, you got to make the best of a shit situation, don't you? And in this case, I love a great joke, as does anybody. And fortunately for me, I said to my husband last night, because the Hodgetwins have mentioned that, one of their wives is, legal immigrant from Mexico. So he jokingly calls her Speedy Gonzalez. God? He jokingly calls her Speedy Gonzalez. So I said to my husband last night, so I guess this makes it okay, Pete, for you to go ahead and call me Casper the Friendly Ghost. Being it out of my own body, no. Since we're naming cartoon characters. Oh, shit. So, no, I mean... Oh, no. Oh, my God. So, anyway, no, but I mean, so I guess that makes it okay for him to, or at least Wendy, because I'm into all that bewitching and I dream a genie and all that other shit, but you know what I'm saying? But anyway, no. But getting back to the liberals and conservatives, and the other part of the conservatives I had seen last night, and this made me go, wait a minute, what kind of fucking freaky shit are you into? I mean, you know what I mean? You looking at the uptight, the staid, the stoic, the, you know exactly what time they're gonna finish with the which is what they often did in the show last night when a guy's having a, orgasmic moment and making all those weird noises and faces and shit. Yeah, they took one of the act and they had the bar stool, and when one of them met his future wife, and it's like, oh, you pretty, come here, open your mouth. It's like, you sick. You're a sick son of a bitch. But anyway, yeah, and then they did the as to say that they, the twins tag teamed his, one of the twins, his woman. No, they didn't. They were just using her for comedy, comedic purposes exclusively. And the updated term, as kids would say these days, not tag team. Nah, that's 70s. Spit roasted. Spit roasted. Go look it up. I'm not going to tell you. But anyhow, no, the show in and of itself, I would give a solid B-, because they did make me laugh. Was it worth the 5-hour drive? That's debatable. But, I would, for more fresher material, yes. And if, in my opinion, Rodney Dangerfield, Red Fox, Richard Pryor, all the Illuminati ones that were part of, unfortunately, that shit. But I mean, a genuine comedic timing, kind of not going blue, but funny as shit, Red Skelton. I mean, he never once used a cuss word, but that dude was funny. I mean, he was funny. And he never not once, used all the 7 dirty words that George Carlin freely used in his shit. Okay. So you could have clean comedy, you could have dirty as shit comedy. The point is, these fellows, and I've seen a lot of comedy, okay? You gotta read your audience. And the funnier ones, the more receptive funny, you're laughing out loud, guffawing funny, were more placed closer to the stage than those who came around after. And the ones in the section that I sat in, while I was, laughing and yucking, like, and kiki and ha and giggling like all the other ones, all the other bread and circuses fools were doing. Some were really uptight. Some did not take that N-word bombs lightly. I mean, that shit was, they would rain in that shit like Flight of the Valkyries. I'm not gonna lie. They were raining that motherfucker like Flight of the Valkyries. They're like that, nigga the nigga, nigga the nigga, nigga the nigga. No, seriously. They were like, I'm looking around like, ooh, they're not taking to this N-word, drop very, they're not, whoa, okay. And then they were doing the whole sex jokes, the N-word jokes, ragging on Mitt Romney jokes, talking about, comparing Mitt Romney doing the same load thing, like if you're familiar with Andrew Yang trying to run for president, and he got on his knees and then opened his mouth to let somebody squirt in Ready Whip. It's like, okay. Did they not get the memo on that? But they're going to cite people about they don't like smoking weed? You know what I mean? It's just somebody looking past, like I'm doing. Somebody looking past the whole Democrats good, Republicans bad, Democrats bad, Republicans good. Oh, fuck that. I'm so over it. I'm, totally Jesse Ventura right there in your camp, brother. Democrats and Republicrats. You right, bro. You are absolutely right on that shit. But I'm so over the left-right paradigm, and that they did bring up a very good point in, sad to say, including in my own family, 90%. A good 90+% of people, black people, Spanish people, any ethnic group that's like, dark-skinned ethnic group are gonna vote Democrat. And Democrats will say anything to keep that mindset on their plantation, to keep their asses in the seats. And while they're throwing them a few bones here, we'll bribe you with a vote, because that's basically what it is in the form of Social Security or lower gas prices in this case. They're bribing your sorry behinds for votes, both sides. Okay? And the twins were only speaking to, obviously, straight up, Second Amendment, die-hard, die-to-the-wool constitutional Republicans, which I am a constitutionalist, but I am not a party tower. I will not. Both parties can kiss my sweet night white ass. I mean it. They can kiss my ass, because both parties sold out this country down the river. We're in hell as we speak because both parties fucked us over. Both parties fucked us over, and all of us closed our eyes to it. And that's some hard-ass words to hear, harder even to say. It hurts me to say it, but it's the truth. You let it happen. I let it happen. We all let it happen. Yes, even you, Kevin and Keith Hodge. I love you. I love you all day, all night. But that whole hard stance on, I think it was Thomas Paine who said, those who are not allowed to be offensive can't speak honestly. Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm offending because I'm speaking honestly. And honestly, y'all's act, for all intents and purposes, parts of it sucked. Parts of it absolutely sucked. You didn't need to lay on, they were on the fucking throttle on that N-word. They really were. They were blowing that up with the N-word. 5 minutes in, they were starting saying the N-word, and it didn't stop until and I checked my watch, and they got on there at 5:10. 5 minutes in, they were in there with the N-word. They didn't stop until 6:15. So you can imagine how many F-bombs they dropped within the hour. So, yeah, that's one. Two, they had a second show at 7:30. Honestly, I was expecting a good 2 hours worth of nice comedy. I got an hour and a half. Did I feel a little bit gypped? Yes. Especially with hawking your product out there too and everything. When comedians came up, no, you earned your stripes the hard way. You worked that shit every night. Now, granted, okay, y'all got kids. You can't do that every night. That's understandable. I get that. You got wives, you got wifeys, you got kidlets, you got shoes to buy, school supplies to take care of, Christmas to come on, and all that other stuff. You got families. So that's completely, all the way, unquestionably understandable. How come they're not pairing up with Diamond and Silk? How come, two sisters that are funny as shit, and if you look into them, oh my God, they are hilarious as hell. They both are. They weren't dropping no F-bombs. They weren't dropping no N-bombs. So, I love the twins' success. It's wonderful that they had it. Where it's going, It smells to me of corporate and mainstream, and now everybody knows your name kind of thing. You're getting a little resty on your laurelsy thing. If you're not careful, you're going to get stale. And to me, it just felt a little stale last night. But the food at the Improv, the key lime pie I enjoyed. I had a ginger ale. My son had a root beer and loaded fries. And my husband, a chocolate lava cake with vanilla ice cream. The whole thing came out to $48. I could have done a little less on the price, compared with the food. I mean, the food was, and the price was also, but the fact, I'm like, I could see that at $35, not at $48. Not at $48. Inflation or not. No, that shit was not worth $48. The Improv place itself, quite nice. Would I make that run over there for a lesser known comedian? No. Nor would I buy anything over there. No. Okay? Like, if somebody, was over there, say, Eddie Murphy, or, just coming up, that kind of thing. If he had done, Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood, or if they had done more of their shtick with, the Ask Hodgetwins about the girlfriend advice, or workout advice, or, that sort of thing advice. They had a lot more of their material they could have pulled from that didn't justify the N-word, the N-word, the N-word, the N-word, as much as they used it within the hour. So, that's just me. And they're far more talented than that, than just throwing out the N-bomb just because they can. You know what I mean? But like the good words say, just because you can, don't mean you should. So, all in all, the night was a B-. It was a B-. I mean, the day started out not great. I won't divulge details because, and the status of the economy also, So, it was a bright spot, but it could have been better. And if I were to, like I said, if I were to give it a straight up 1 of 5 stars, I honestly would have given it 4. 4. And only because the venue was nice. The food could have been a little better, C+, I would say. The stark difference between a stoic conservative and a more laid-back conservative, but that also made me a little wonder, how much of a freak are you in bed, kind of. I mean, because some of these you could tell that they were freaks in the bed. I mean, and they were like secret twerkers on the low, you know what I mean? So, unfortunately, the conservative camps tend to be in those two extremes, and then there's me in the middle. And what I mean by me in the middle is like what I'm saying about my albinism. Sometimes people can tell that I'm an albino, and sometimes they can't. Just like sometimes people can tell that I'm of a certain ethnicity, both mixed of black and Spanish, and maybe a little indigenous Indian thrown in here or there, Calypso and hiya, kind of, not, and Spanish Indian maybe, but sometimes they can't. And yeah, I can blend in with the most of them, particularly if I have my makeup on and stuff. Like, I would just look like a very extremely light-skinned black woman, to the point where, or a light-skinned black/Spanish woman, and they wouldn't be able to tell. You see what I mean? So, some literally split maybe 49.9, 50.1. That's how slim the margin is. So, it's virtually that way. And I, looking into my ancestry, maybe 8, 9, 10 grandpops ago, 8, 9, 10 grandmothers ago, somebody fucked a white guy. Okay? Somebody in my lineage, 8, 9, 10 grandparents ago, got banged by a white dude, or, slipped into a white woman. In which case, I really don't care. But, I mean, because, at the end of the day, we're all, mix of fucking soup anyway. So, yeah, like I said, for the travel, for the cost, for only an hour and a half, they could have not had an act feel stale like it did, and it did. The food, it could have been better. It was good. It could have been better. The atmosphere, also good, could have been better. I give it, like I said, the overall experience a solid B-. And it's not going any higher than that because everybody can always use room for improvement. And if any of the Hodgetwins team want to go ahead and reach out to me, find me on Telegram at ghostrogue1 or ghosthawke@gmail.com and shoot me up a letter, shoot me up a note, send me in an email. I love getting mail. And I think it would be really cool that you did. So I'm going to go on and get on out of here because I got some token to do. And we don't want to end on a lousy note, do we? So we're going to go ahead and shuffle one of my cards like we always like to close on a beautiful note. And this one's called the White Light Oracle by Alana Fairchild. And like he said while I'm shuffling, 90% of Democrats, 90, okay? Not 80, not 70, not 60, 90. Always, for some sick-ass reason, unbeknownst to me, keep voting Democrat even though they're not getting the results that they were promised. But hey, do it again, we'll get it through. Do it again, we'll get it through. Do it again. Wheels just turn slow and my man is in jail, and what you gonna do? And I need my rent. Well, no. Well, you told me to vote for you. I'm gonna get this. And then how long it takes to get this or that done? 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, never. You know what I mean? And the schools are shittier. The welfare output is shittier. The area you're living in is shittier. It's just worse and worse and worse and worse. But keep voting for me. Keep voting for me. I'll set you free. Keep voting for me, and I'll set you free. And the more you keep pulling that out of your ass, the more you are going to realize, ladies and gentlemen, these people want nothing more than to keep you enslaved. And they won't tell you that. And if you figure it out, then they start calling you names. Because when they start calling your asses names, then they know full on well, they got you. They got you. And you got them by the short and curlies. Okay? So let it be understood that whenever you start catching on to their truest bullshit, and it is, they're going to start name calling you. They're going to start gaslighting you. They're going to start doing all kinds of horrific things, name calling and other disgusting things to you that'll make you think like, yeah, maybe I should go back. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do X. Maybe I should do Y or Z. No. You stick to your heart. You stick to your gut. You stick to your guns. And if you know full fucking well that these people are trying to rob you blind in the guise of, don't you want this government program? Don't you want that program? No. I want my freedom. I want my sovereignty. I want my autonomy. When I want to go to bed, I'll go to bed. When I want to go to school, I'll go to school. When I want to pay a bill, I'll pay a bill. Why do I got to be tethered to you? In the form of pay your taxes or go to jail. You know what? Then send my ass to jail. I'm already in jail paying taxes any damn way. And that's what I'm getting at. That the more the Hodgetwins get out in life and they're not so insulated, and unfortunately both like the conservatives are insulated, like they scream and yell the leftists are. Well, pod kettle, right? Pod kettle conservatives, pod kettle, you'd know. If anybody would know. So with that said, we got our cards shuffled, and we're going to go ahead and read one before we get on out of here, ladies and gentlemen. And we already had that one, so we're going to find another. And I'm not trying to cherry pick or whichever, because that one was personal. That one was called the Goddess of Maeve. But this one here, we're going to flip that over, and this one's called Alabaster Tablet of who? Alabaster Tablet of Laylar. That's pretty. And it is a gorgeous, gorgeous airbrushed of Layla. Alabaster Tablet of Layla. Laylah. Very pretty way to spell Layla. I would imagine you can go to her website at alanafairchild.com, which I did happen to see. And yes, this one is called the Alabaster Tablet of Layla. Okay, and let me go ahead and roll that window down because it is getting warm in here. Alrighty. You are remembering at a soul level. You're tapping into greater awareness and an understanding of your highest life purpose shall become even clearer to you. This may evoke unsettling change within you, but that change is necessary for a new way to manifest. You are protected and guided at all times, especially when you feel uncertain about your course. You are truly loved. There it is. There it is in a nutshell. We are all truly loved. I love you. You love me. We are all truly, truly loved. Let me continue. The angel Layla heralds from Talmudic scriptures. Unlike any other angel, she is specifically described as a feminine being. Layla is a reminder that there's a place only the feminine can fill. If we attempt to live our lives skewed toward the masculine, we will miss out. There's a great value in masculine tendencies toward exploration, adventure, progress, and development. However, the feminine tendencies toward compassion, acceptance, kindness, and mercy are a balancing necessity. For humanity to survive, those dual wisdoms need to find balance and integrate into our mature expression in every human heart. The appearance of Layla in a reading suggests the feminine must lead at this time. Allow the way to be shown rather than directed a path based on your current perspective. Layla is a guardian angel watching all over transitions, including the transition of the soul into the embryo during conception and the guidance of the soul out of the body and into the realm of light when a physical life draws to a close. Alabaster was lauded by the ancient Egyptians as a guardian stone, which leads to the soul toward the light during times of transition. The alabaster tablet of Layla, L-A-Y-L-E-H, indicates that you're navigating a significant transition. It may be that your outer life is going through change, or it may be that your inner changes are happening within your soul, or both, as in my case. You may not know how to traverse the shifting inner and outer landscapes, but the oracle advises you that this great angel is guiding you faithfully and effectively. In the Talmud, Layla teaches wisdom to all souls before they're born. She then strikes the upper lip of the infant at the moment of birth, creating the indentation at the upper lip and causing the child to forget everything they knew. Life is then the journey of reconnection and rediscovery. The alabaster tablet is a crystalline scripture. Its vibration encourages the soul. Oops, let me turn the page. Its vibration encourages the soul to seek the light and the spiritual path, sparking remembrance of inner truth. It helps us remember the sacred purpose for which we're born. If you feel out of your depth or in need of more information or understanding, this oracle reassures you that it's okay to not know everything right now. The answers you need shall become clear at the right time. All is within. I'll end there because I don't want to read all the way the oracle. 1, 2, I may not have a copyright to do so. 3, go read this yourself and you pick up your own copy at alanafairchild.com or any other fine e-retailer near you or brick and mortar store near you. No, I'm not being paid to say this advertisement. However, it's an official sponsor, unofficial sponsor that is, and I'm just going to run with it. It's the truth. Oh, and P.S., for those of you hollering about the Talmudic and it's all filled with Khazarian Mafia Jews, yeah, once they took it over. But that didn't mean the creator actually created something evil to go ahead and test us with. No, that was called free will. And another topic for another time. This review was about the Hodgetwins' performance yesterday. I only found a little bit above mediocre. But again, that's just me. Some of you are going to really love it. Some of you will really hate it. And it'll balance out. Like, as, things should actually do. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for visiting my little podcast. Go ahead and share this video. Smash that like button. Subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Let me know what you think in the comments. Go ahead and carry on the conversation. You want to go ahead and email me? Please do. I love getting mail and I love getting donations. PayPal, ghosthawke@gmail, Venmo, ghostrogue1, Telegram, also ghostrogue. Actually, Venmo is GoRogue, GHOROGUE. Ghostrogue1 is my Telegram hookup. Find me on Gab at Maroon the Sleuth, whenever I get on there, anyway, because I am so sick of being online, I can't even begin to people. And just drop me a line and say hey, or you can go ahead and if you want to send beautiful packages, I don't think I'm going to tell you where my physical address is. I really don't care, but rather don't care to. But go ahead and reach out at ghosthawke, ghosthawke @gmail.com. Go Rogue at Venmo, GHOROGUE at Venmo. Go Rogue, Ghost Rogue 1 on Telegram. And as usual, I'm a Gemini, and guess what? I'm Ghost. Later.